Hello, my dear children. Welcome to the mathematics class. Today we are going to discuss linear equations in two variables. In this chapter, we have discussed the concepts of exercise 4.3 and we have solved some questions in this exercise. We have completed 4 questions so far in this exercise. I hope you have understood the concepts of this exercise. I hope you have learnt well the questions which were discussed previously. Haven't you, my dear children? Right. Now come to the exercise 4.3, page number 74 in the textbook. Are you ready to listen the class? Right. Now come to the question number 5. From the choices given below, choose the equation whose graph is given in the figure 1. See here, my children, 4 choices are given. 4 choices are given. And graph also given. In the previous questions, we are given linear equation into a variable. Then we have drawn the graph. Yes or no, my children? We have drawn the graph. But in the reverse order, they have given the graph. Now we have to find what is the equation of this graph. Understood this point, my children? Right. To find the equation of this graph, to find the equation of the graph, in the previous exercise, previous problems, equation is given. We have drawn the graph. But here, graph is given. We have to find its equation. So reverse order in this question. Understood this point, my children? Right. See here, y is equal to x plus y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 2x. 2 plus 3y is equal to 7x. These are the choices given. Here in the graph, see here on this line, it is a straight line. On this line, the points are marked, plotted 1 comma minus 1, 0 comma 0, minus 1 comma 1. Okay, my children. This is a clue. These are the clue. Hey, they are hints. They are clues for finding the equation of this graph. Okay, my children. With the help of these clues, we find the equation of the graph. Right. Let us take the first option. Y is equal to x. Y is equal to x. In this equation, let us substitute these 3 points. If even a single point is not satisfying, even a single point is not satisfying the equation, then we say that this equation is not the equation of the graph. Understood this point, my children? Even a single point does not satisfy, then we say that this equation is not the equation of the graph. Okay, my children. So let us take first this one, minus 1 comma 1. Put minus 1 comma 1 in y is equal to x. Then what we get here? This implies this is x coordinate, this is a y coordinate. This is x value, this is a y value. So substitute. What is y here? 1. 1 is equal to, what is x here? X coordinate minus 1. Is this a statement true statement or false statement, my children? 1 is equal to minus 1. It is a false statement. Yes or no, my children? We got here a false statement. It means this point is not satisfying this equation. Yes or no, my children? Therefore, minus 1 comma 1 does not satisfy the equation y is equal to x. Understood this point, my children? Therefore, y is equal to x is not the equation of the graph. We verified here whether this equation is the equation of the graph or not. Here it is not satisfying the graph, the equation. This point is not satisfying this equation. That is why we say that this is not the equation of this graph. Understood this point, my children? Right. Now come to the second equation. Second equation. Let us take second equation. X plus y is equal to 0. Now let us check whether this is the equation of this graph or not. Now put x is equal to put. Let us take this first point, minus 1 comma 1 in x plus y is equal to 0. This implies what we get? This is the x value and this is the y value. So in this equation substitute x and y values. Minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. Yes or no, my children? Now in LHS what we get? Minus 1 plus 1 0 is equal to, in RHS 0. 0 is equal to 0. Are the both quantities equal or not, my children? Yes, they are equal. So this statement is a true statement. Yes or no, my children? True statement. So this point is satisfying this equation. Now let us take the another point. Okay, my children. Here we have stopped by this point only because this point is not satisfying this equation. That is why we have decided this is not the equation of the graph. But here in this case, first point is satisfying the equation. So let us take the second point. Put, understood this point, my children? In y, x plus y is equal to 0. Let us take the second point, 0 comma 0. Substitute x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0 in this equation. Then what will you get? 0, x value is 0 plus y value is equal to 0. This implies 0 plus 0. What will get? LHS 0 is equal to what will get here? RHS 0. So this is also a true statement. So the second point is also satisfying the equation. Understood this point, my children? Right. So we go to the next point. If it is not satisfying, then we don't proceed. We stop that step. We stop by that step only. Understood this point, my children? But here this point is satisfying because we are getting a true statement. Here also this point is also satisfying because it is also a true statement here. Now we go to third point. Put 1 comma minus 1 in the equation x plus y is equal to 0. We have to substitute the next point. Understood this point, my children? Then what is x value? 1 and y value is minus 1. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. I am writing right RHS side as it is. Understood this point, my children? Understood this step? So 1 minus 1, 0 is equal to 0. Understood this point, my children? So here also we got a true statement. By substituting this point in this equation, we got a true statement. That means this point is also satisfying the equation. So all these 3 points, are satisfying this equation. Understood this point, my children? So we say that the given points on the graph are satisfying the equation. X plus y is equal to 0. Understood this point, my children? Therefore, x plus y is equal to 0 is the equation of the graph. Therefore, finally we decided that this equation x plus y is equal to 0 is the equation of the graph. Understood this point, my children? Right. Now, next equation. Let us verify the next equation. Y is equal to 2x. We follow the steps as we followed for the first two equations. Okay, my children. First, what should we do? We have to substitute 1 comma minus 1 comma 1 minus 1 comma 1 in y is equal to 2x. Here x value is minus 1 and y value is 1. So 1 is equal to 2 into minus 1. Understood this step, particular? In this equation, I have substituted x coordinate, that is x is equal to 1 and y is equal to x is equal to minus 1 and y is equal to 1. Understood this point, particular? Understood this step, right? This implies in LHS what will get 1 is equal to, in RHS what will get 2 into minus 1 minus 2. Understood this step, particular? Right? Is this a true statement? 1 is equal to minus 2. Wrong. It is a false statement. This statement is a false statement. So here no need to substitute the remaining 2 points because the first point itself is not satisfying the equation. Therefore we write minus 1 comma 1 is not satisfying. Is not satisfying the equation. Is not satisfying the equation y is equal to 2x. Therefore we conclude that y is equal to 2x is not the equation of the graph. Is not equation of the graph. Understood this point, my children? Therefore, this y equal to 2x is not the equation of this graph. Okay, my children? Now, come to the last equation. 2 plus 3y is equal to 7x. 2 plus 3y is equal to 7x. This is the fourth choice we are given. So we follow the same steps. We follow the same procedure. Okay, my children. So put first point minus 1 comma 1 in this equation. In 2 plus 3y is equal to 2x, 7x. Okay, my children. This implies 2 plus, what is y here? 1. 3 into 1 is equal to 7 into x value is minus 1. We substituted x value is minus 1 and y is equal to 1 in this equation. Then we got this step. Understood this step, my children? Right. This implies, let us simplify LHS. 2 plus 3 into 1. What will you get? 3 is equal to, come to RHS. 7 into minus 1. What will you get? Minus 7. Understood this step, my children? Right. This implies, let us simplify LHS. 2 plus 3. What will you get? 5 is equal to minus 7. Is this a true statement or false statement, my children? Yes, it is a false statement. It means this point is not satisfying this equation. Okay, my children. Therefore, minus 1 comma 1 is not satisfying. Is not satisfying the equation 2 plus 3y is equal to 7x. Therefore, we decide that 2 plus 3y is equal to 7x is not the equation of the graph. Here, no need to substitute the remaining 2 points in this equation, my children, because here we got a false statement. When we got a false statement, we stopped by that step and we concluded. Understood this point, my children? If we get a true statement, then we substitute the next point. Okay, my children? If the second point is also satisfying, we go to the third point. We check the third point. Understood this point, my children? Right. Here I am not explaining the second part of the question number 5. Okay, my children. I have explained the first part of the question number 5. I have explain the first part of the question number 5. I am not explaining the second part of the question number 5. Please try the second part of the question number 5 yourself. If you have any doubts, ask your doubts and get your doubts clarified. Okay, my children. Now come to the question number 6. Question number 6. Page number 75 in the textbook. Page number 75 in the textbook. See the question number 6. If the work done by a body, application of a constant force is directly proportional to distance travelled by the body. Okay, my children, understood this statement? Express this in the form of an equation in two variables. We have to write this sentence in the form of an equation in two variables. Understood this point, my children? And draw the graph of the same by taking the constant force 5 units. Okay, my children, understood? Right. Also read from the graph the work done when the distance travelled by the body is 2 units and 0 unit. In these two cases, we have to find the distance travelled by the body. Understood this point, my children? Understood this question? Right. Now come to the solution part. Let us consider the work done by the body. The work done by the body by constant force is Vy units. Let us consider the work done by a body, the work done by the constant force, is equal to Y units. Okay, my children. And the distance travelled by the body is equal to X units. Okay, my children, understood this one? We have to consider, we assumed here the work done by the constant force by that body is Y units and the distance travelled by the body is X units. Okay, my children? Right. This question is related to physics. Okay, my children? We know that work is equal to work done by the body. We know that work done by a body is equal to force into displacement. Okay, my children, do you remember this relation between the work done by the body, force and displacement, my children? You learn this point in the physics. Work is equal to force into displacement. Okay, my children? Right. This implies work done. What is work done? How many units of the work done here? Y units. Okay, my children. So Y is equal to what is the force here? It is given that 5 units. For constant force is 5 units. Okay, my children. So 5 into X. Okay, my children, understood this equation? Right. Because Force, constant force is equal to 5 units. We substituted this value here. Constant force, that is 5 into x. This implies y is equal to 5x. So we wrote the statement in the form of an equation. Okay, my children, understood this equation y is equal to 5x. So this part is over. Now we have to draw the graph of this equation. Okay, my children, we have to draw the graph of this equation, and from the graph we have to find the work done is 2 units. Then what is the distance traveled by the body? If the work done by the body is 0 units, then what is the distance traveled by the body? Okay, my children, understood this point? Right. Now come to this part, graph of the equation y is equal to 5x. Do you remember the steps, my dear children, how to draw the graph of a linear equation, two variables? Yes, here we have to prepare a table. We have to prepare a table. X, Y. Here solution as an ordered pair. Solution as an ordered pair. Okay, my children. Right. What I said, first we have to substitute x is equal to 0. Put x is equal to 0 in the above equation. Then what will get? Then we get in this equation we substitute x is equal to 0. Then y is equal to 5 into 0. Understood this step, my children? I substituted x is equal to 0 in this equation. Then we get to this step. Understood this step, my children? Right. This implies y is equal to 5 into 0. 0. So if x is equal to 0, then y is also 0. Then ordered pair 0, 0. Okay, my children, we got 1 point. 2 points are enough to draw the graph. Okay, my children, right. Next, if we put y is equal to 0, then we get x is equal to 0, because already here we got x and y is 0, 0. So we take another point. Okay, my children, put x is equal to 1 in the above equation. Then we get y is equal to 5 into 1. In the same equation we are substituting x is equal to 1. Okay, my children, to get the another point we are substituting x is equal to 1 in this equation. Then we got this step. Understood this step, my children? Right. This implies y is equal to 5. So when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 5. When x is equal to 1, y value is 5. So x coordinate is 1 and y coordinate is 5. So we got 2 points, 2 ordered pairs. Now let us plot these 2 ordered pairs in the graph sheet. Okay, my children. Do you remember the points, my children? How to draw graph of a linear equation, 2 variables after getting the points. On x-axis we are taking the force. We are taking the travel distance traveled. This is a force. This is the what is the y taken here? Y is work done. Work done. X is equal to distance traveled. Y denotes work done by the body. Okay, my children. So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my children. So let us plot this point 0, comma 0. This is the first point. Second point 1, comma 5. Ordered pair 1, comma 5. So what is x coordinate here? 1. So it is a positive value. So on positive x-axis we have to move along the positive x-axis from the origin till 1 unit. After that we have to move towards up because y coordinate is positive. So we have to move along with the positive y-axis. How many units? 5 units. So like this 1, comma 5. Do you remember these points, my children? Plotting the points on the graph sheet. Now let us join these 2 points. Let us join these 2 points. This is the graph of the equation y is equal to 5x. Y is equal to 5x. Let us write the equation of the graph. Okay, my children. Then what is asked when the distance travelled by the body is 2 units. If 2 units, if it is given, then what is the value of y? Okay, my children. Now it is given. Up to here, understood this point, my children. Understood this graph of this equation y is equal to 5x. Right. Now come to this point, my children. When the work done by the body is equal to units, that is x is equal to 2, then we have to find the distance travelled by the body. How many units travelled by the body? Okay, my children. By graphical, with the help of graph. So here x is equal to 2. Okay, my children. The work done by the body. So from this point here, x is equal to 2, we have to draw a parallel line to y-axis. Parallel line to y-axis. Where it cuts here? This point. At this point, we have to draw a parallel line when x is equal to 2. So here we have to, from here, we have to, through this point 2, comma 0, we have to draw a parallel line to y-axis. Then it intersect at point 10. 2, comma 10. Okay, my children, understood this point. So we are finding the distance travelled by the body graphically. We can find this value, y value, algebraically by substituting x is equal to 2 in y is equal to 5x. Put x is equal to 2 in y is equal to 5x. Then what will get? Y is equal to 5 into 2. What will get y value? 10. Here also we got 10. Yes or no, my children? So when the work done by the body is 2 units, then the distance travelled by the body is 10 units. Understood this point, my children? Here we found the value of y algebraically by substituting x is equal to 2 in the given equation. But with the help of graph, if you want to find the distance travelled by the body with the help of the graph, we have to identify the point from which we have to move. So x is equal to 2. We have identified here point 2. From here, through this point, we have to draw a parallel line to y-axis. Okay, my children. Then this line intersects y-axis at 2, comma 10. At like this. This line intersects this graph. This line intersects this graph of this equation at 2, comma 10. Ordered by 2, comma 10. So y is equal to 10. Understood this point, my children? Right. Similarly, 0 units. Here 0 units means the distance travelled is also 0 units. Okay, my children, understood this point? So when the work done by the body, body is 2 units, then the distance traveled by the body is 10 units. Understood this point, my children? Similarly, second point, work done by the body is equal to 0 units. So, put to x is equal to 0. We are finding here y value algebraically. This process is called solving the equation for y algebraically. So, 5 into 0. Then what you get to 5 is equal to y is equal to 0. Then what do you write here? When the work done by the body is 2 units. Therefore, when the work done by the body is 0 units, then the distance traveled by the body is 0 units. Understood this point, my children? Right. In the exercise 4.3, two more questions are there, my children. Question number 7 and question number 8. Please try yourself the question number 7 and question number 8. Okay, my children. If you have any doubts, ask your doubts and get your doubts clarified. Okay, my children. Now come to the concepts of exercise 4.4. Exercise 4.4. Okay, my children, I have not explained the last two questions in the exercise 4.3. Do yourself. Okay, my children. Right. See the concepts of this exercise 4.4. Equations of lines parallel to x-axis and y-axis. What are the equations of lines which are parallel to x-axis and y-axis? We are discussing this point here. See the first point. The equation of the x-axis is y is equal to 0. Okay, my children, remember these points. The equation of y-axis is x is equal to 0 because every point on y-axis, the x-coordinate of every point on y-axis is x is equal to 0. Similarly here, the every point on the x-axis, y-coordinate is 0. Y-coordinate is 0 for every point on x-axis. Therefore, we say that equation of x-axis is y is equal to 0 and the equation of y-axis is x is equal to 0. Understood this point? Points, my children? Right. Now come to the third point. X is equal to a represents a straight line parallel to x-axis, y-axis at a distance of modulus of a units from the origin to the right or left of origin according as a is positive or negative. Okay, my children, suppose x is equal to some number, a number is given, a non-zero number is given. Then this equation represents a straight line. The graph of this equation is a straight line parallel to y-axis at a distance of modulus of a units from the origin. And it is right, if this number is a positive number, then the line is parallel to y-axis at a distance of that units and right side. Similarly, if it is a negative number, then it is left of the origin. Understood this point, my children? Right. Now come to the fourth point. Similarly, y is equal to a represents a straight line parallel to x-axis at a distance of modulus of a units from O, above or below O according as a is positive or negative. Similarly, here y is equal to a non-zero number is given. Here a non-zero number. A denotes a non-zero number, some number. Then the graph of this equation is a straight line parallel to x-axis. Okay, my children. Here no need to take the coordinates, no need to prepare a table as we have prepared to draw the graph of a linear equation two variables in the previous exercise 4.3. Yes or no, my children? So here in this case, in these two cases, no need to take ordered pairs. No need to prepare a table to find the ordered pairs. Okay, my children. Directly we can draw a parallel line to x-axis. In this case, we have to draw parallel line to y-axis, and in this case, we have to draw a line parallel to x-axis according as these points, according as the values of a. Understood? These two is 4 points, my children. Right. The concepts of exercise 4.4 were completed, finished. Okay, my children. Now let us start the sums in the exercise 4.4, page number 77 in the textbook. In this exercise, only two sums were given. Here I am explaining the first question. Please try the second question yourself. Okay, my children. Right. See the question number 1. Give the geometrical representation of y is equal to 3 as an equation in one variable and an equation in two variables. In these two cases, we have to represent this equation as a graph. We have to draw the graph of this equation. See, first part, understood this point, but understood this question. Right. Come to the solution. Graph of y is equal to 3 when the equation is taken as an equation in one variable. If you are assuming that this equation is an equation in one variable, then no need to draw x-axis and y-axis. Just we draw a number line. Okay, but it's done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Here minus 1. This is the number line. No need to take x-axis and y-axis because we are assuming that this equation is an equation in one variable. That's why we take only one line. That is the number line. So on this number line, in general, we take y is equal to 3 means vertical line. Okay, my children. We take here y is equal to 3 as a number line, vertical line. Okay, my children. So let us take like this. Number line 0, 1, 2, 3 like this. Okay, my children. So y is equal to 3 here, this point. Y is equal to 3. Understood this point, my children? On this number line we represented y is equal to 3. Okay, my children? Understood this point? Now if you want to draw the graph, when this equation is treated as an equation in two variables, then we have to draw. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So y is equal to 3. Y is equal to some constant. So it is a line parallel to x-axis. Yes or no, my children? Parallel to x-axis. Here 1, 2, 3. Okay, my children. So it is a line parallel to x-axis. No need to prepare a table to draw the graph of this equation. Y is equal to 3 above the 0, above the origin, because it is a positive number. It is at a distance of 3 units from the origin and above the origin. Understood this point, my children? Right. Similarly, do the second question yourself. If you have any doubts, ask your doubts and get your doubts clarified. The second question, 2x plus 9 is equal to 0 is given. From the equation, solve the equation and find the value of x. Okay, my children, find the value of x. Then we get x is equal to minus 9 by 2. Yes or no, my children? Then represent that equation geometrically. Okay, my children, will you do that question number 2, my children? Right. If you have any doubts, ask your doubts, get your doubts clarified. Okay, my children? Right.